Welcome to the Coaches Show. That's Taylor Jacobsen. I'm Kevin Paulus. And Coach, just one game last week. Let's get into it. A 57-55 win over Graceland. The game you guys were up big, and then they were furious in the second half, came back, and you get some free throws at the end. You win the game.
Yep. Yeah, no, we had an outstanding first half. And then second half, they just came out and they made some adjustments that worked and kind of put us on edge a little bit. And then, they just built on that momentum and it was almost like they couldn't miss anything. So kudos to them because that was a really great quarter they played and definitely, made us have to make some adjustments on our end as well.
Yeah, 29 points they scored in the third quarter. But let's go back to the first half for you guys. That's where most of your success was, and then you get the win at the end. What was working in the first half that allowed you guys to build that lead in the first place?
Yeah, I think our defense is something we've been able to rely on this whole year. And so that's been very consistent for us. So I think we just showed up, played how we do on defense. We work really, really hard. I think offensively, that was the difference. I mean, we were making the extra pass. We were pushing the ball. We had great screens. The actions were working really well. And so we were able to find each other. And then we were making those shots, which sometimes we struggle with.
Yeah, talking about making shots, we talked about this last week, having, 3 consistent scorers in the game. You had it again. This time, Rebecca Fraley leads you guys with 12 points, 6 assists, and then Riley and Paula both with 10. So you're starting to get that, not just one player being dominant in a game.
Yeah. And Beck, we knew she had that in her too. And she'll give us more games like that. She's one of those players. If we need somebody to get to the basket, like she's going to make those moves to the basket and try to get some points. And she really did a nice job of that in this game too.
So you're 8 games into the year, 3-5, 3-2 in the conference. Just what's sort of your overall assessment at this point of the team, of how the season's going, just kind of big picture?
Yeah, I'm excited because I know we are not where we can be and we're still growing, which is a perfect time of year. You don't want to hit your peak by any means. So we're still growing and we're learning from all the situations that we've been in. And it's cool because, a couple weeks ago when we played Pharmacy, we were on the other end of this where we just could not find a way to win that game. And so for us to find a way to win this game, proved to me and it proved to our team like we are capable of doing that and we know how to win. And when you know how to win, like you're going to end up winning a lot more games. So I think we're on the right track. We just have to figure out those little things and not make it so difficult for us.
Right. Talk a little bit about those little things because, you guys have won 2 in a row, but they seem so spread out that there might not be a lot of momentum there, I mean, the success has been there, but, these games are a week and a half apart, at least at this, and then you don't play again until Saturday. So you're not really getting into a rhythm of, hey, we're on a good roll, let's keep it going. But what do you think what's 1 or 2 things that you guys, that you can pinpoint, like if we do this a little bit better, we're going to be better than fine. We'll actually be really competitive in the heart of America.
Yeah, I think we talk a lot. One thing that is like our overall struggle is our mentality. So just not letting the outside creep into what we're doing on the inside. And so I think we do focus a lot on that. And that's one of those things that like you have to experience it to know how to battle and to win in those types of games. And then the other thing, I'll just group them together, is free throws and layups. Like the little things as far as like...
Little things, right.
Exactly. Like if we can, and our turnovers, like those are the 3 things, I'll group them in one. But those are the things we talk about every single week that in order for us to be successful, like those things have to get better. We were lucky in William Woods, we had 26 turnovers, but like you don't win a lot of games when you have 26 turnovers. And so
win by 10 anyway.
And in this game, we had 5 in the first half, and that's what was the difference maker, right? And we had 13 in the second half. And so it's like we have to be able to fix those things.
Let's take care of the basketball. So one of the things I notice, and even on your social media posts, this comes out, this team and these girls really seem to like each other. Like you guys have like a good mentality on the team. Just talk a little bit about that. Maybe even talk about what are some things that you're doing to kind of foster that as well, because they really do seem to all get along, and that's not always the case. I mean, like sometimes it's the exact opposite. People want more playing time and they're whatever. But just talk a little bit about that sort of mentality and the being together, and as you talked about, not letting the outside stuff get on the inside.
Yeah, I think like first off, I'm just really blessed because the personalities on this team all really just came together nicely for me. And then on top of that, that is one of the most important things to me is the relational aspect of our team and how we will do things for each other, not for yourself. And we talk a lot about that as well. So I think that they really embody what I want, but I think they do a lot of that on their own. So I can't take full credit, but in practice, like every day we do something called daily fun, and it's about 5-10 minutes before we actually start practice where we're just like separating ourselves from the outside things and doing something really goofy or funny. So like sometimes we'll do trivia. Sometimes, I don't know, we do some crazy games where we're like, the girls are imitating the coaches or they're putting on a show or whatever. And it helps us kind of like really separate from the outside things. And with school and finals and everything, this is a hectic time of year. So It's been great for our team. And it's also like, we do accountability partners where they're constantly changing their partners, getting to know each other outside of basketball. So, I mean, I think those things, like you said, do foster that kind of relationship, but we're also just very lucky because these girls really are loving and they really want to be around each other and they really want to win for each other, which is really special.
And we talked about this early in the year. I don't know if it was during an interview or, before or after when we were just sitting here talking or whatever. Have you raised your voice at the team yet through 8 games? Has that happened?
It's happened. It's happened. They say it's lowercase yelling, but it's happening. They know I'm serious. And we need to lock in, and I think like that's almost like where my confidence has grown because I'm finding a way to be like, I don't always have to scream and yell, but like when it's time to be serious, like we need to be serious and they know the difference. And so I think it's like a mixture of us figuring each other out and how that looks. But yeah, I still don't scream and yell. It's just not in me. I can't find it.
No screaming yet. Now, raising, I like that lowercase yelling. So, you guys have, I would say, the week off, but then you play again on Saturday, Wednesday game or whatever. And that game is a trip to Atchison, Kansas, taking on Benedictine. They're pretty good, 7-3, 4-1 in the conference. What are we looking for there?
Yeah.
Besides a win, of course.
Right. I was going to say, of course, a win. But, I think we are prepared again for this game. We have this whole week to prepare, which is really nice. So in a sense, like not getting to play that momentum, I understand that. But then also like we have a whole week to work on the things that we need to work on. So really when we come to Saturday, there's no excuse. We can put all of our focus into that game. And really, the things that we have to get better at. So I think, Benedictine's going to be a good team. It's going to be a really good challenge for us. I definitely think it's a beatable game. We have to work on our consistency, and so we'll see how that goes. We have a lot of time to practice that.
What kind of challenges do they present for you? Like, is there a certain style that they play or, certain scores, or have you really dug in? It's still 5 days away, but have you really dug into that a lot?
Yeah, they're good scorers. They have a point guard, number 5. She's definitely going to look for her shot, and she is solid. So, again, one of those players we got to shut down. But overall, their team, they just work the ball really well on offense. Really strong defenders, and they will, they'll get their stops, they'll get their rebounds. So we just have to make sure we minimize our mistakes on our end. I think it'll be a good matchup for us, so I'm excited about that. I don't think they're necessarily faster than us, but they are, they're disciplined. They know how to win. That team has won many, many years in a row. That coach has been there for 20-something years. So they know what they're doing. So it'll be a good challenge for us.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you.
It's Taylor Jacobsen, and this has been the Coaches Show on the Spartan Digital Network.